Ever wondered what happened to those epic bands that rocked the world but suddenly vanished? Hello, music lovers! Get ready to dive into a time machine as we revisit these legends and discover why they left. Number 1. Black Sabbath. In the 1970s, Black Sabbath rocked the world with booming music. They defined what we know today as heavy metal. The main guys in the band were Ozzy Osbourne, Geezer Butler, Tony Iommi, and Bill Ward. All four men were friends from school in Birmingham, England. This unique band started by playing in small bands named Polka before transforming into Black Sabbath. This spooky name was inspired by a song Geezer wrote. This band created dark music with a mysterious vibe and slow beats. Ozzy's deep voice was magical. Many people didn't get their songs at first, but with time they released hit tracks and sold millions of albums. When Ozzy left the band in the late 70s, others followed, leading to their gradual decline. They reunited in the 90s, and in 2006 they were honored with a place in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The Black Sabbath magic still lives on, even after many years. Number 2. The Eagles. As their name implies, the Eagles soared so high that they captivated the hearts of American youngsters. These guys came from different parts of America, starting with Don Henley, Glenn Frey, Bernie Leadon, and Randy Meisner. However, life later led them to Los Angeles, where they discovered their love for music. Together, they crafted songs reflecting sunny California days. Their first hit was Take It Easy, which captured the easygoing vibe of the city. Their sound filled the airwaves as they kept making music, and their album Hotel California was a legend. The Eagles created more than just music. Their lyrics were a taste of freedom and dreams wrapped in guitar strings. As the 1970s slowly rounded off, their music shaped the rock scene. Even when punk and disco became popular, the Eagles held on to their unique sound. Their influence was so strong that they sold thousands of albums even when they stopped playing together. Even new generations still celebrate them. Number 3. Styx. Styx started way back in Roseland, Chicago. At just 12 years old, twin brothers Chuck, the guitarist, and John Pinozzo, the drummer, teamed up with their 14-year-old neighbor Dennis DeYoung, a singer and accordion player. The trio called themselves the Tradewinds. As they grew, they evolved. Chuck left for a while, but his spot was taken upon returning. He rejoined as a bass player. Dennis changed to playing the keyboard, adding new flavor to their tunes. By 1965, they played at school gigs while studying to be teachers. Their big break came in 1972 when they signed a record deal and chose the name Styx. The idea behind the name is still sketchy, but they all loved it. Their early albums were a mix of beats with fancy progressive rock. Of all the songs released, Slade shot them to stardom. This single turned them into legends of rock. Number 4. Heart. This musical band started when sisters Ann and Nancy Wilson shared a special bond through music. As kids, they sang and strummed guitars together. The Beatles and other stars greatly influenced them in this era. In the late 1960s, they settled in Washington, where they found their true passion in rock music. Ann joined a Seattle band and soon recruited Steve Fossen and Roger Fisher to form a new group called Heart. Heart's journey started when Ann moved to Vancouver for love, and the others followed. Nancy joined Heart in 1974 with her special folk singing and guitar skills. It was a match made in heaven. Heart's big moment came in 1975, and soon they performed their first album, Dreamboat Annie. Despite the challenges in the entertainment industry, Heart kept rocking with albums like Little Queen and singles like Barracuda. They thrived even until the 1980s when they released new hits. In 2013, they were honored with an induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And yes, they deserved the win. Number 5. Pink Floyd. Hey, teacher, leave them kids alone. Pink Floyd took the world by storm with their psychedelic sounds. This band started in 1965 and took its name from two blues musicians, Pink Anderson and Floyd Council. The group quickly became known for their experimental music that blended rock with a splash of whimsy and bizarre. The real magic started with Syd Barrett, whose lyrics and guitar skills ushered the first hit and groundbreaking album, The Piper at the Gates of Dawn. This song was full of strange and beautiful sounds. However, as the 60s ended, Barrett left the band due to health issues, but then David Gilmour stepped in with a new vibe. Pink Floyd's music grew deeper and reached new heights after the iconic album, The Dark Side of the Moon. For years, this album remained on the charts, making Pink Floyd a true legend. Despite internal struggles, the band kept making music for millions of fans. They sealed their legacy with hits like We Wish You Were Here and spectacular live shows that captivated their audience. Before we get to the next famous band, be sure to smash that subscribe button and comment "I subbed" to be entered into our monthly shoutout draw. This week's shoutout giveaway goes to Chelsea Girl 6266. Thanks for being part of the family, and let's keep going. Number 6. Thin Lizzy. Who remembers Thin Lizzy? The rock band known for their electrifying performances. It all started when Phil Lynott and his bandmates Brian Downey, Scott Gorham, and Brian Robertson lit the stage for the first time in a small club. Even though it was a small crowd, their energy was unmatched. Phil and Brian Robertson's stage presence convinced everyone they were here to stay. Thin Lizzy quickly rose to fame with their catchy tune, Whiskey in the Jar, which set the stage for their unique sound. Their album Jailbreak and the hit song The Boys Are Back in Town were game changers. These songs put them on the map, especially in the US. Like most extinct bands, success came with its challenges. The band faced health issues and disagreements, but kept playing. Their love for rock and roll did not allow them to give up easily. Even though they're not as vibrant as we expect, their music still inspires fans worldwide, and even you. Number 7. Bay City Rollers. Bay City Rollers were a musical sensation that stormed the US and UK. Their pictures were plastered on every teenager's wall in the 1970s. The Rollers dressed in signature tartan outfits, a style everybody wanted to copy. Their journey to fame started with small gigs in Edinburgh when they formed the band. Thanks to their manager, they transformed into a pop sensation known for hits like Saturday Night and Keep On Dancing. These singles sat on the top of the charts for long, earning them millions of fans. At the peak of their career, Bay City Rollers performed in sold-out crowds with fans dressed in tartan and screaming their names. They even got their TV show with dedicated viewers. Everyone wanted to see their favorite band on TV. Despite the pressures of fame, the Bay City Rollers left their name on the sands of time. We still remember a time in music history when you couldn't do without playing a track from them. Number 8. The Doors. Hello, I love you, won't you tell me your name? The Doors started way back in the 1960s from Los Angeles. Led by the charismatic Jim Morrison, this band's deep voice and poetic lyrics capture the hearts of many. They also featured talented hands like Ray Manzarek on the keyboard, Robbie Krieger on guitar, and John Densmore on drums. As for their name, it was inspired by a book titled The Doors of Perception by Aldous Huxley. This band became famous with hit albums like LA Woman and Hello I Love You, which became timeless classics. Songs from these albums played on radios and record players in many homes. Unfortunately, Jim Morrison died in 1971. His death was a huge shock. While the bands tried to keep up with the magic, it didn't last long. But then they sold over 100 million records worldwide, making them one of the most popular musical bands in the world. Number 9. Slade. This next musical band lit the UK music scene like a disco ball. Formed in Wolverhampton in 1966, they rose to fame as fast as their glittery outfit. With Naughty Holder's booming voice and Dave Hill's eye-catching costumes, Slade captured the hearts of many. They had a magical run with 17 top 20 hits, and 6 songs reached number 1 on the UK charts. They were so famous that the entire country sang along every time they released a song. They even set a record with 3 of their singles hitting number 1. Their hit songs, Come On Feel the Noise, which was later covered by Quiet Riot, and Merry Christmas Everybody, which sold over 1 million copies. Sadly, their star dimmed in the mid-1970s when they tried to win over the American audience. In a twist of fate, they crawled back to the spotlight in 1980 and took the state by storm. For a moment, they reminded everyone why their music was exceptional. Number 10. T-Rex.
Ride a white swan that the people of the Belgian way hello.
T-Rex is not a dinosaur, but a band that began a musical revolution. Led by the charismatic Mark Bolan, their sound set the music scene on fire. T-Rex became the heart of glam rock. featuring outlandish costumes and unforgettable tunes. Mark Bolan teamed up with Mickey Finn to become a rock sensation. The band's electric hit, Ride a White Swan, marked the beginning of their rise to stardom. As T-Rex churned out hits like Hot Love and Get It On, they enchanted fans and dominated the charts. Remember that their groundbreaking album, Electric Warrior, was a masterpiece, and songs like Telegram Sam and Metal Guru made them a household name. Even though Mark's life was tragically cut short, T-Rex's magic still inspires hundreds of artists globally. Which band from the past do you miss the most, and why? Tell us in the comments below, and let's reminisce.